Can anyone hear a buzzing sound? I think it's a bee. Yeah, it's a bumblebee. Can you see it anywhere? Yeah, alright, it's me. I was only joking. I was pretending to be a bumblebee because the story today is all about a bumblebee. Here it is, look. The bumblebee. Oh, hang on a minute. It's not the bumblebee. It's the Bumblebear. Bears can't be bumblebees. They're too big and hairy. Shall we see what happens? Yeah. The Bumblebear by Nadia Shireen. Once there was a bear called Norman. He loved honey. He really loved it. And he was always sad when it ran out. But getting hold of more honey was always a bit tricky. He's trying to get it from the bees. The bees are flying after him. If only I could be a bee, he sighed. I could have as much honey as I liked. And then Norman had a quite amazing and brilliant idea. It was an ordinary morning at bee school. "Hello, bees," said the Queen. She was in charge. "We have a new bee at bee school today." "Woo!" said the little bees. "Everyone, say hello to Norman." It's the bear. "Hello," said Norman. "Oh," said the little bees. "Aren't you a bit big?" asked Amelia, who was a rather clever little bee. I'm a special bee," said Norman. "I come from a land far, far away called, Great Bee Land." Said Amelia. But then it was time for some lessons to start. Do you remember those, boys and girls? They began the day with some painting, then Norman joined in with some buzzing practice. I'll stop now. The bees showed him all sorts of games during playtime, and Norman was brilliant at waggly dancing, and then it was time to go home. Bee school is amazing, thought Norman. He couldn't wait to come back the next day. The next morning was even better. Norman was very good at finding smelly flowers. The bees really liked him. He was so funny and friendly, and he always tried his best, even during flying lessons. Bears can't fly. After lunch, the bees learned how to chase anyone away who came after their honey, like spiders, like mice, like toads, and bears. Amelia still felt there was something a bit odd about Norman. She tried to work out what it was. Gasp! Bears, steal honey, bad smell, raw lots. Amelia told the other bees what she'd found out, but they didn't believe her. "Of course Norman's a bee," they said. "Just look at him." "He is not a bee, and I shall prove it," said Amelia. She took Norman to the bees' secret honey store. Well, when he saw all that honey, Norman just couldn't help himself. Honey! After all, he really loved honey. "See, Norman isn't a bee, he's a bear," said Amelia. "What the jiggins?" gasped all the little bees. Said Norman. He was asked to leave bee school at once. Oh, poor Norman. With Norman gone, things were soon very quiet at bee school. Norman was such a funny bee, sighed the bees. Norman was such a busy bee, sighed Amelia. Norman was a naughty bear, said the Queen, and bee school is no place for bears. But later that night, the bees heard a loud crash and a diabolical "Rah!" "Oh no!" they cried. "It's a bear!" And this bear was big and nasty, and he trampled all over bee school. He grabbed the hive and he started to shake it. The bees tumbled out in a panic. They tried to chase the bear away, but it was just too big and too bad. But then a fearsome buzzing beast burst through the trees. Bzzz. "Ick!" squealed the giant. "Ick!" squealed the bear. "It's a giant bee!" And it ran away as fast as it could. The bees were saved and Norman was a hero. They gave him a big pot of honey and the Queen presented him with a special award. "You definitely aren't a bee," said the Queen, "but you are no ordinary bear. I think you are a Bumblebear." And the Bumblebears were definitely allowed to go back to bee school. Oh, well, I'm glad about that, because he liked it there, didn't he? And all the bees loved him there too. Okay, boys and girls, keep your eye open for bees, because it's getting hotter now and you might see them buzzing around flowers. Okay, I'll see you tomorrow for another story. Bye.